A secret agreement between the Bank of China and a group of international financial regulators recently the subject of stunning news. Through the XRP ledger, the digital yuan will be integrated into international payment systems. Central banks, geopolitical analysts, and international markets have all been taken aback by this. What began as rumors during private economic summits is now widely known according to leaked documents. China's central bank has decided to link its digital yuan to the global economy using XRP as a literal interoperability layer. Despite China's extremely this revelation, which economists now refer to as the Shanghai Interoperability Accord, has fundamentally altered how the world's currencies function and includes a sizable domestic financial infrastructure and numerous digital currencies. As banks scramble to gain exposure before liquidity runs out, it has also generated true demand for XRP, pushing its value to unimaginable heights beyond 90,000. China's digital yuan project was long regarded as the most sophisticated central bank digital currency initiative in the world. The goal was to lessen the nation's reliance on the US dollar, challenge Western financial domination, and bring modern cross-border commercial infrastructure. However, despite its use of cutting-edge technology, the digital yuan had a serious flaw from the beginning. Within China's restricted ecosystem, it was not convertible into other currencies. Consumer use, remittances, and domestic payments all operated without a hitch. However, without a neutral real-time bridge asset that could enable fast, trustless settlement across countries, it was challenging to link the digital yuan to other central bank digital currencies, regional banking networks, and global liquidity hubs. China was unable to trust. It also couldn't trust a Coronos, an organization directly associated with an enemy nation, to pay off its obligations, including US-run networks like SWIFT. Chinese financial officials eventually looked into a digital asset solution that was not governed by any government but had the speed, liquidity, and compliance architecture required for large-scale international settlement because of the strategic bottleneck. The only system that could function was XRP because of its consistent supply, quick settlement, adaptable regulatory structure, and demonstrated cross-border functionality. It is the most effective remedy for the worldwide interoperability issue that central bank digital currencies are at the moment. The stolen documents reveal the outcomes of 2 years of confidential discussions between the digital currency division of the Bank of China and Ripple's technical advisory teams. In order to evaluate the digital yuan's capacity to transfer funds and settle trade balances utilizing XRP as a middle ground asset, engineers conducted high-security simulations during that period. According to reports, the outcomes exceeded expectations. Time to settlement was nearly instantaneous. The system could be controlled by neither China nor the West, and liquidity routes could process trillions of dollars in transactions annually. The strategic advantage was readily apparent. Although China currently maintains complete control over the digital yuan, it could use XRP as a politically neutral means of breaking into international markets without worrying about other currencies controlling the market or having to go by regulations for external settlement. When China's policymakers discovered that XRP was the only asset capable of linking its central bank's digital currency to the global financial system, the Covert Agreement was formally announced. According to the agreement, the only bridge currency that can be used for all cross-border digital-yuan settlement activities is XRP. This covers transactions by sovereign wealth funds, state bank transfers, and trade invoicing and exchanges of company liquidity. The world's second largest economy is that of China. When the digital currency issued by China's central bank begins to flow through XRP rails, the demand for XRP becomes virtually infinitely continuous, global, and structural. According to analysts who have examined these leaks, this shift differs from previous speculative bull markets. It is currently a component of one of the largest financial systems in history and modifies the value of a payment asset throughout the system. The money will experience a historic jolt soon as this covert sale closes. Supply. Central banks and foreign banks are now required to purchase and keep XRP in order for settlement flows to function properly. You should be aware that in order to ensure that trade payments continue, businesses involved in China's supply chain, which encompasses manufacturing, logistics, shipping, technology, and energy, must likewise have XRP reserves. These businesses' use of XRP for treasury operations causes the supply on public platforms to collapse. Some of the largest liquidity providers are unable to obtain even tiny quantities, and OTC marketplaces are reporting shortages that have never been observed before. The structural scarcity worsens as China's state-owned banks begin implementing phased acquisition strategies in preparation for the transition to digital settlement. These businesses manage assets valued at trillions of dollars, and even minor XRP is distributed can have a significant impact on the market. Real-time price increases occur when more things are purchased and removed from the market. Large Western institutions who were reluctant to enter the market now realize that their hesitation is costing them strategically when the price of XRP rises above 5 figures. In the event that XRP links to every nation, business, and financial institution and conducts business with China, whether directly or indirectly, must utilize XRP once the digital yuan is made available to the rest of the world. Economists refer to this as the interoperability black hole, when everyone is essentially forced to use a neutral bridge asset due to geopolitical need. As a strategic backup, sovereign wealth funds begin to hold XRP in order to maintain their financial independence. In order to avoid being excluded from the new settlement framework, banks in the Middle East and Europe are beginning to purchase XRP through private acquisition agreements. At the same time, task groups focused on digital currency are being swiftly established by South Korea, Japan, India, and others to develop their own plans for CBDC connectivity. These will all eventually be able to connect to China's XRP infrastructure. There is no slowing in the pace. Tens of millions of daily transactions involving products, electronics, energy contracts, and international trade will require XRP as China's exports become more reliant on the dajie. As a necessary component of their reserve portfolios, liquidity corridors become deeper and larger. In the center, banks begin operating XRP liquidity pools, which store the cryptocurrency. For the first time ever, a digital asset has truly turned into a global currency. Economists are now revising their models to account for the volume of global trade, the requirement for government liquidity, and the requirement that CBDC be compatible with other cryptocurrencies. After previously discounting XRP, they reached some startling conclusions. According to even the most cautious projections, XRP must be valued between 5 and 6 figures in order to support the anticipated settlement volume. Large-scale institutional accumulation, sovereign liquidity provisioning, foreign exchange routing, and the new settlement architecture's collateralization requirements all contributed to the break to 90,000. XRP is evolving from a speculative asset to a structural monetary tool as its use in global banking increases. The Treasury uses it as a core reserve. It serves as a buffer for banks' cash flow. Businesses utilize it as settlement collateral. As China extends the influence of the yuan to additional nations involved in the Belt and Road Initiative to make things easier, developing countries swiftly embrace trade corridors facilitated by XRP as a reserve serves as the foundation for settlements, the engine that enables transactions, and the glue that binds a multi-trillion-dollar community together. There is no longer any competition for XRP. It has evolved into a worldwide business instrument. Because XRP provides a neutral layer of interoperability that no nation can claim or use as a weapon, the digital yuan, once restricted to China's borders, is now a significant component of global commerce. A new era of money has begun, where the movement of funds between nations is regulated by bridge assets. Furthermore, XRP is the only commodity that enables the second biggest economy in the world to conduct commerce with every other nation without encountering any issues, delays, or political risks. The price of 90 RZs is not the highest. This is the first instance of a structure shaken an asset's value. From being a speculative coin, this asset is now the foundation of international monetary interoperability. Please remember that I am not a certified financial manager, Benny. The data and the sole purpose of these films is to provide amusement. I always advise my viewers to do their own research before making any financial decisions.